It's Kevin Keatsman Uncanceled on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7. I'm Kevin Keatsman, and I got a bounce in my step. This is my favorite sporting event of the year. The Masters is underway. Absolutely love it. Love the traditions. Love everything about it. We're not going to talk a lot about it. I just wanted you to know that I'm kind of on fire today. I feel good. I've been watching highlights this morning. I saw those little kids playing golf yesterday at Augusta. It's such a special place and such a special tournament, and I'm rooting for Bryson DeChambeau. If anybody cares, he is all Team MAGA. He is the United States Open champion. When he won, he took his trophy down on Broadway Street in Nashville and celebrated with the fans. He took it everywhere. He likes to wear red, white, and blue tennis shoes. He's Trump's buddy. He represents America greatly. He hits it farther than anyone, and he's the best presence on social media. He hit the most balls on the range this week and stayed the longest signing autographs. There's nothing to not like about Bryson DeChambeau. If somebody says they don't like him, they're a liberal. There's a reason they don't like him. Some people don't like him. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Bryson DeChambeau. If you don't know who to root for at the Masters, you now know. Bryson DeChambeau's your guy. We got a fun show lined up for you today. It's been a couple of months since my good friend Gary Lezak was with us. Gary Lezak will be back on Channel 41 temporarily. You know, Pete likes to tease me that I got a better gig than Rachel Maddow here. Well, I found somebody with a better gig than that, and it's Gary Lezak. He'll join us coming up at 10:30 to talk about what he's doing while Lindsay Anderson, the regular meteorologist there, is on maternity leave. Interesting stuff. We've got news on the best basketball recruit ever under Bill Self at the University of Kansas, and we've got a whole bunch of political topics to start with. We will begin with what Trump did yesterday. Everybody knows what happened. We saw what happened. You don't take a victory lap on the stock market. And I don't feel like Trump did that. A lot of people on social media and a lot of people did, like, oh, it's over, everything's great. It's not great. Until this is all settled, it's going to be rocky. Nobody can predict the stock market. We shouldn't be judging it by that. What we need to understand is that Trump put China in a corner. He boxed them in. The important part of this now is not the 10% tariffs on the 85 countries. It's not all those things. It's not the raising tariffs on China, which really doesn't affect anything because we have a 5-to-1 trade deficit with them. It's about the outcome at the end. And the single most important thing is the coalition of countries that did not retaliate against the United States. It sounds like part of the deal was, okay, we're going to stop this and slow this right now with everybody, but we want your word that you're with us against China. And that's the most important thing. So this really is turning into the United States against China. I thought it was going to be, I knew early on China, that Trump was targeting China and the European Union or European countries. We knew that. We've heard him be bombastic about Canada and Mexico. Part of his art of the deal strategy is, if I'm going to be this tough and this nasty to my friends, imagine what it's going to be like against my enemy. And China likely sat there for a week and thought, wow, he's trashing Canada and Mexico, and they're not retaliating. We might as well do this. We're all just the same. He's on the European Union. He's upset with France. He's talking trash on Germany and England. He's letting them all have it. He's not picking on Cambodia and Vietnam. He's ripping his friends in public, just ripping them. Imagine what they thought in China when he was ripping all of his friends. Now, these are soft friends at this point. They're loose friends. They're the neighbors that live 7 houses down that you see while you're mowing or you pass every now and then and you wave at and maybe have a beer in their driveway a time or two a year. They're not the people that hang out on your deck all summer. They're those loose friends. You like them, but we're going to keep our distance a little bit. That's kind of where Europe is right now, and Canada and Mexico. But we know this. They like being protected by the United States. You can bet your bottom dollar Canada and Mexico love it, and so does Europe. And he knows that. And the power of all these countries globally coming together, standing against China, with the United States leading the way, is what this thing is all about. And what has transpired now in the last 24 hours, I'm not a great social media poster. I literally fire up the mower yesterday. I get done, I go home, I'm done with the podcast, I'm done with the radio show, I grab a little lunch, I start to mow, and I've got some more work I got to do later in the afternoon and things that are later. So I'm going to try to get this thing done. I start going real fast. In my mind, when I mow, I think of things that I don't think of. And I immediately think, oh my God, Trump said earlier today, it's a good time to buy stocks. As I'll bet the Democrats come after him for insider trading. I stop mowing. I pull over. I grab my phone. I post on X. Prediction. First to hear it right here. The Dems are going to come after him and try to have a hearing and accuse him of insider trading or manipulating the stock market so his friends could get rich. It wasn't 4 hours later that Adam Schiff is in front of cameras saying he wants to investigate Trump for insider trading and manipulating the stock markets. These people are unbelievable. He puts Democrats in a position where they have to find fault with good things. So there's Shifty Ship. The market's up 3,000 points on the day. And he's literally there telling people, we got to look into this crap. We can't have this. We can't have the markets going up 3,000 points. We got to investigate Trump. Well, you know what's next, don't you? These people are cheering for China. Don't even question it. They want Trump to fail more than they want America to win. That's today's Democrat Party. Now, I'm not saying it's every Democrat, but it's the stance of the party. We used to talk about platforms of parties. What do you stand for? We know what the Democrats stand for. They stand for Trump losing, Trump failing, Trump getting shot, Trump going to jail. Whatever it is, Trump's got to lose. Above all, they're terrified that this works because if it works, it's generational. And America, already a right of center country, will be a right of center country. And we could win elections for a long, long, long time. The problem the Democrats have is they know these policies work. Because they know they work and they know Trump is hell-bent on doing it, they're rooting against him. Honest question. Just ask yourself this. Do you think Adam Schiff wants Trump to prevail over China in all this economically and really build America into a monster over the next few years and head into the 2028 presidential election with all this steam and tailwind and everything at our back? Do you think that Democrats want that? Do you think they want Trump to beat China? Because they've talked for decades about doing this to China. They're all on record. Every single one of them has made a comment about tariffs against China. We need to do this. It's uneven. It's not a level playing field. We need to do it. At the same time, they were personally taking money and benefiting from China. Nobody more so than the Bidens. The Obamas, Hunter Biden, we've seen it, but they're all tied in. They're all tied into. All the Democrats have been grifting off Ukraine and China and all these bad actors, these people that we funnel money to and do things and just play giveaway to. Why has the world been playing giveaway to China? It makes no sense that we've been doing the stuff that we do. And so now we're going to end it. And it may be painful for a few months. We may still be grousing this fall or this winter. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes. I don't know how dug in China will be. I suspect China will be dug in until it hurts them too bad. And they're going to be suffering. They're going to be like, oh, crap, this ain't working. We got to fix this. I don't think they're just going to say, well, Trump's right. He's boxed us in a corner. I think they're going to respond by saying, we'll see how bad this corner is he's put us in. And if and when it gets really bad, Trump's going to need those other countries. He's going to need them to do the same sorts of policies. He's going to need a coalition of nations to go after China. And if and when this works, it will be one of the most glorious days of our lifetime, depending on how old you are. But make no mistake about it, the battle cry here from Democrats is defeat Trump. This is illegal. It's insider trading. He can't do this. We got to strip him of powers. We got to file lawsuits. They do not want him to succeed. This is the most un-American party that has ever lived. The Democrats of the 2000s are the most un-American political party this country's ever had. They're literally anti-America. Open the border, allow criminals in. We got this soccer coach in California that allegedly killed a 13-year-old boy that was on his team. He's been molesting, allegedly, boys for years, and he shouldn't even be here. He'd been picked up on these charges, and California let him go, and there was nothing we could do about it. He's an illegal alien. We have millions of people pouring in. We don't know who they are. They haven't been vetted. We're giving them Social Security numbers. That's what the Democrats want? How is that pro-America? How is that reading the Constitution and understanding who and what we are, that we have a nation of laws, and we follow them, and we live by them, and we respect them, and we should cherish them and honor them? They're anything but that. But even worse than that, because they're just doing that trying to win elections. In my book, even worse than that is rooting against your president. I didn't root against Joe Biden. I knew his policies were going to fail. I knew so many things he was doing were wrong. I didn't like him, but I didn't wake up every day rooting for more bad things for America. I didn't. I wanted the stock market to go up. I was happy that they didn't change the tax code. They stayed with the Trump tax cuts. I wasn't every day deranged rooting against Joe Biden to fail. No, I didn't want America to be a dark, bad place. These people literally want the next 4 years to be hell for Americans. They want Trump to fail. They want the market to crash. They want the economy to go down. They want everything possible bad to happen to be able to blame on Donald Trump. And it's not happening. Inflation is down to 2.4%. It's the first time in over 4 years we've had a month where it's down. It's the best report. All these economic reports, consumer price index fell for the first time in 34 months. Gas is down 6.3%. Core prices are down. Oil is down. All of these go back. This is the best economic report just out today in 5 years since Trump was president last, right before COVID. These are the best economic numbers since right before COVID. It's killing them. They don't want it. They're rooting against it. It's pathetic. Of all the things that frost me, they're immoral, sick, curious, twisted ways of life, the things that they teach our children in schools, the things that they profess morally and socially that are despicable, all of these things. What bothers me most at my core, and it shouldn't, there's worse things. I'm not saying that I'm right, and I'm not saying you should agree with me. At my core, what bothers me the most is anybody that is a fellow citizen of this great country that wakes up every day because of who's president and hopes our country fails and people here suffer and are miserable. That is a blanket statement across the country, and it makes me sick. You better bet your bottom dollar, not just Schumer, not just Schiff, not Pelosi, not just Obama and Biden and all these people, not just those people, the Clintons. It's the people that vote for them. You know who they are, and you know they're waking up every day with Trump derangement syndrome, wanting America to fail. How much lower can you go as an American citizen? Man, it is so great to have you listening today. Thank you very much. And for all the folks that have reached out and the kind things that you've said and folks that I'm running into, that you're happy that I'm back on radio, I can't thank you enough. I want you to know that I think about that and appreciate that every single day, now more than ever, with all the important things going on, not just in Kansas City, but around the world. It's something you just think about more as you get older, and I really appreciate your support, and thank you for listening. I truly, absolutely mean that. It's flattering, very much so. Let's go to the phones. We've still got a couple open lines if you'd like to join us at 408-7957. Stephen is up first today. Good morning, Stephen. You're on Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio.
Hey, Kevin, good morning. And I'm sitting watching Tom Watson on the veranda with the kid from Mayetta, Tiger's roommate. It's spinning yarns at the Masters with Jack Nicklaus, so it's pretty good. And we're cutting off China at the knees. It's pretty good right now.
You're having a good day, sir.
If you're a Trump supporter, it's pretty good. I think you're very good monologue as always. I just think the Democrats can't help themselves. They've given themselves into the base instincts of their party, and they're going to have to go down in the next election before they finally come back and maybe get a Shapiro or an Andy Beshear or maybe the governor of Maryland. They've boxed themselves into a corner here, and Trump is exploiting it big time. That we just have to keep pressing him. I mean, we keep pressing on all fronts. I mean, I love the fact that we're investigating Disney. I didn't think that it was ever going to happen. I mean, we've complained for years that Disney doesn't follow the rules with their own employees, that they bend over backwards to China because, again, they need the money. It's just like politics. They hired all these DEI hires that they're going to investigate them now that they can't get out of ESPN. They're a canary. They're a canary in the coal mine. You have to follow the ruls when you complain about politics every day, like Elle Duncan and Mina Kimes and Sarah Spain and all the idiots over at ESPN. You're going to get federally prosecuted.
Well,
I'm sorry.
So it's happening. You're right. Everything you stated is true. I'm not a big investigations guy. Okay, I think it's fine. There are a lot of things that are really worth it. I don't care if they investigate Disney or they're going after Disney or they're doing this or that. I want Washington, D.C. to do stuff. Like, I want to get this. I want the big, beautiful bill passed. Okay, you want to see the stock. Yeah. You want to see the stock market go up past the big, beautiful bill. All right, if we're worried, fixated on the markets, let's go get that done. Let's make deeper and lower tax cuts and extend those out for a long period of time and watch what happens. It will be good for everyone. But I'm telling you, the Democrats are all going to vote no, and I don't understand this. At some point, somebody's going to run for president as a Democrat, and it would look good on their resume if they said somewhere in the past, you know what, I agreed with Trump on this. The things that they know are going to work, why aren't they agreeing with him on now? Why don't they agree that tax cuts are the right thing? Why don't they agree that we need to defeat China? If you go on the only person saying this stuff is Harold Ford, who's on the 5 on Fox News, and he may run for president, but he says it. And if he means it and he does run, it's going to be pretty good to have on his resume. Hey, I was saying this stuff years ago.
Kevin, they need the money. They need when the money is exhausted, then they'll get.
I think you're giving them
sister soul.
I think you're giving them too much credit.
You're going to get your votes on the bill. We've got, according to NBC, we've got the votes on the bill.
Of course,
but we have to prosecute. We have to prosecute these people.
But Stephen, that's awesome. But okay, I'm going to stop you right there because I want to get Leonard on too. Thank you. I agree with you. I got a buddy that wants to prosecute and do this and that. Nobody goes to jail. It's a waste of time. You went there to write laws and make America better, okay? I'm willing to wipe the slate clear of all the past sins of all these idiots that have done their stuff. Let's just get better every day. Let's look forward and let's get better. Let's get on this and get better. Leonard is with us this morning. Good morning, Leonard. How are you?
Doing good, Keith. Doing good. Hey, I totally agree with you. The Democratic voters, the Democrat voters, it just seems to me like they're rooting for this administration to fail. And even the media, I was scrolling up the dial like you were yesterday, and this was last month, and they were talking about First Amendment rights and how important it was. And I called up the radio station, and they said, yeah, it's not good to oppress callers when they call up. And if you would disagree with the radio host, then they'll just say we don't talk politics and then just hang up on you.
It's worse. They basically take their own rights of free speech away. Worse than hanging up on a caller or disagreeing with a caller is being a radio show host and not speaking your mind freely. I can't even imagine. You're taking your own First Amendment rights away.
Yeah, and their response was virtually that we're not a government entity, so we can make up any rules we want. And to me, that's not good you know how that is. But I just wanted to call and tell you that I agree with you on that.
All right, buddy. Appreciate the call. That's Leonard. We appreciate him very much. Oh, I got my good friend Gary Lezak on the phone. He's like me. He's like a bad cold. You can't get rid of us. We won't go away. He is living the dream. He has started his own business, doing exactly what he wants to do, and now he gets to come back and dabble in television a little bit, even if only on a temporary basis. Hello, Mr. Gary Lezak. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for having on Uncanceled.
Okay, before we get into what you're doing now, tell me what you did here a couple of days ago. You emceed an event with Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. What were you doing, and how was he?
Well, Kevin O'Leary was actually the keynote speaker of a luncheon a couple of days ago, and I got to meet him at the meet and greet. So there were about 30 people, and you and I being in the community, when we do these meet and greets with people, there's after you've talked, after you've spent an hour of your energy and you've prepared and showed a whole PowerPoint, then you have 30 people lined up to meet you afterwards. I know what it's like. It's like, you want to talk to each person for 30 seconds so you can get out of there and get on your airplane and get out of town, right? And so they told us, you can we'll take pictures, you can't take pictures, and then no conversations. And I'm like, no way, I am not going to do that. So 6 people in front of me took their picture and walked away, took their picture, walked away, took their picture, walked away. And then I go up to him and I say, hey, Kevin, it's Gary Lezak. I worked in television for 38 years. And how you doing? And he goes, hey. And then we took our picture. I said, listen, can you imagine, Kevin, if every bride has a problem. They want to have their weather forecast for their wedding day. And we have a solution. Someone has made a discovery in meteorology. We have a patent-pending model, and you can predict the weather 6 months in advance right now. And he goes, don't tell me anymore. You cannot say another word. If you want to be on Shark Tank, you cannot say another word. I can know no more. And I looked at him and I said, anyway, hey, listen, I know what meet and greets are like. Good luck. I'll talk to you later. Nice to meet you.
Are you going to go on Shark Tank?
I don't know. I certainly should apply. Why not?
Why wouldn't you apply?
Yeah, we got $1 billion idea. So
well, you should go on there and see how that goes. Can I go on with you? I'm a good pitch man. I'm a good pitch man, but I don't know exactly what you do. I'll go on with you. Let's go get them.
You and I can practice and go on together. I mean, I'm serious.
Buddy,
I could sell it.
I think we only need about 10 minutes practice. We could probably do it backstage. You know the product inside and out, and I'll just sit there and tell them how great you are.
Yeah, just tell them about that one cheese forecast for opening
that was
last year when we predicted the lightning delay months in advance.
We could play the audio for them.
There you go.
Yes.
So, but yeah, no doubt. And then I was at this conference for 4 days, and we had a booth talking about Weather 2020. And then last night was the big gala where I was the MC, and everyone said that I did great. So I guess that's good.
You always do great. And we just love having you as part of this community. We know how much you love being in Colorado as well. You are living the life you want to live, which is, I think everybody in this audience just completely and utterly respects that. And for the next few months, that means you're going to be back on television. Just walk us through the story here. You're going to be doing the morning weather on KSHB Channel 41 while the regular meteorologist is on maternity leave, correct?
That's right. Lindsay Anderson, congratulations. She and her husband had a baby Grayson, and they have another 3-year-old boy, so 2 boys, and their son, Gordon. I almost forgot his name. So, but congratulations to them. They have a great family, and she'll be off for about 12 weeks. So, beginning Monday, I will be filling in for her on the morning show. We just did a test. Everything seems to be working. Once it's up and running, it's great because I'm going to be broadcasting from Golden, Colorado to Kansas City. We have a TVU set up. We have the graphic system set up. My whole office up here in my loft here in Golden has turned into a little studio, and we are going to broadcast live. Now, here's the problem. The show starts at 4:30 a.m. in Kansas City.
Oh, no.
That's 3:30 a.m.
Oh, boy.
So I'll be up early. 12 weeks. I'm excited. I want to reconnect with everyone, say hi to everyone, inspire people, do what I did. Kevin, for the first 15 years of my career, I was the morning guy. When I met you, I was the morning guy. 15 years. Mm-hmm. I got up at 2 a.m. So I'm going back to my roots. I'm going to be saying good morning. I'm going to get people started with their day every day with the best weather information I can provide from KSHB. And then if there's any severe weather, I'll be there for that just in case,
I think they ought to let you tape like the first 2 hours of weather forecast the night before.
I know. I wish they would.
I'm serious. Do a couple of 2-minute weather forecasts. They can just run them over and over and over. And then you can come on live around 5:30 or 6, something like that. How long do you go? How long will you be on the air? 4:30 until when?
4:30 a.m. show, the 5 a.m. show, the 6 a.m. show, 7 a.m. on 38 The Spot, a couple cut-ins. So by 9 a.m. Kansas City on most days, I'm done, so which is 8 a.m. So think about it. It's fine. I'll be off by 8 a.m. on most days. And a couple of days I'll do middays. So those days I might be off by 11 a.m. But it's much better than doing the evenings. If I decided I wanted to do the evenings all day long, I'd be thinking I've got to work all day, and now I can be done by 8 in the morning.
How many people told you you're crazy and you should go to Bermuda and do this where it would be 2 hours later there?
Ooh. I haven't even thought about
Come
that.
Come on. I'm telling you, you go on Shark Tank, you need me just for things like that. It's like you just had to tell Channel 41, you need to rent me a Verbo at Bermuda for 3 months. We're going to Bermuda. I'll do it from there. A Verbo house on the island of Bermuda. It's 2 hours time difference. You would start at 6:30 every morning.
I know. That would have been fine. At 3, I could have. That's not a bad. That is what an idea guy you
buddy,
are.
I'm telling you, you cannot go on Shark Tank without me.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, we should do it.
How do we make it happen?
We only get like 90 seconds to make our pitch, but you and I could do it.
Well, we know some people in TV in Kansas City. They might have connections to like the producers, wouldn't they? The networks?
No, probably not. Network.
I got the full. I took my whole family one time to New York. Got the full rundown of Good Morning America, backstage, the whole thing. They wanted to watch it. Some people at Channel 9 helped me make that happen. Come on. You know some people.
Yeah.
We'll get Chris Ketz on the hook. He can make this happen. Isn't that on ABC?
It's on NBC. CNBC is Shark Tank.
It's no longer on regular network?
Oh, I don't even know. I got to do some research.
Well, CNBC, my God, you guys are NBC. Let's go.
I know. Let's do it.
Oh, that sounds awesome. No, that sounds like an outstanding time. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Absolutely, because we've got the global predictor that's got over 1,500 users now that are getting the 6-month forecast.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should download the Global Predictor Pro. Get peace of mind for $5.99. It's not just for weddings; it's for events, and it's got September's forecast for. I don't know. We don't have the schedule for the Chiefs yet, but we'll have the full schedule for the Chiefs, and of course, the whole Royals schedule day by day is on the Global Predictor right now.
So I'm happy to have you on. We're not talking about snowstorms or anything like that, but what can you tell me about this summer? Are we going to, in the late this spring as it goes, and then into the summer, are we going to be wet? Are we going to be cold? Are we going to be hot and dry? What do you think? Long range, next 4 or 5 months? What's it look like here?
Well, the weather pattern is cycling regularly per the LRC, and there's one big storm that's due in April 23rd to April 30th, somewhere in that 7-8 day stretch, and there's going to be a significant chance of severe weather with that. There's 2 parts of the pattern that are cycling through that will produce enough rain that it'll be near to above average rainfall. So for the farmers out there, good news for them. Not a drought, very low chance of a drought in the Kansas City area. And so a wet spring ahead. First half of May looks wet. The very end of May through first half of June looks wet. So we're going to have some stormy weather. But, yeah, the snow season is finally over.
So there's a chance I could keep my lawn sprinklers off until like Father's Day?
Yeah, you might be able to do that. You'll probably think about it at times turning it on, but within the next 10, 12 days, there's going to be some big chances of thunderstorms heading this way.
We're talking with Gary Lezak. He'll be on KSHB Channel 41 News beginning. You start Monday? Is it next week that you start?
I start Monday morning, and everything better work. That's the only thing I'm stressed out about is this technology going to work? Because, we put a big screen, so I'm going to be standing in front of, instead of a green screen, I'll be standing in front of a big screen, and I'll be able to provide the best weather information the way I want to do it.
Okay, explain to our listeners how terrifying it is not knowing if it's going to work. I just did a couple of weeks in Phoenix of the podcast and the radio show for the first time. And the 3 months leading up to that, I was an absolute nightmare mess for Jessica to deal with because that's all I was fixated on and terrified that it wasn't going to work.
Right. As long as it works, everything. I don't want to have like, hey, Gary, we can't come to you. And then what do they have? Because I'm there. They don't have a backup behind me there. So I need to train the producers. Hey, guys, if something's wrong, we'll figure it out within 5 minutes. Just say Gary Lezak's coming up. But hopefully, right now it seems like once I get it rolling from 3:30 in the morning, it'll be fine. It'll work. But I just got to get it rolling.
That's so cool. What do you think of the Royals this summer, buddy? Yeah. You follow the Royals?
I'm following the Royals. It's hard here. I guess I can get the Major League Baseball app because I have not been able. They black it out on that other way of getting baseball. Baseball is so stupid the way they do it. It's like, I'll try to get. I know what they're 6-6, right?
Yeah, they were awful last night, but that's if they stay 500 for a while, they're going to be around. They'll be in it.
So they're 6-7 then. They're
6-6. No, they're 6 They were 6-5 going in. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, because last night I was MC, so I'm a little lost on.
I get you. I wasn't looking for specifics. I was just looking for the good Gary Lezak forecast that the Royals are going to be great and make the playoffs. That's all I'm looking for.
The Royals are going to make the playoffs. I'm excited about it. They're going to get into their groove. That is very exciting. I'm sad for Kelvin Sampson and Houston for losing the way they did.
Oh, because you're an Oklahoma fan, and he was your coach at Oklahoma for many years.
Yeah, so I was like, come on, I can't believe that. How do you not get one shot off? It's basketball. Take the last shot. I don't care if it banks out. At least you give it a shot.
Do you think if he had coached at Oklahoma all these years, he would have won one there?
I think so.
I do too.
I mean, remember in 2000, 2001, 2002, the Sooners won the Big 12 championship, tournament 3 years in a row. I mean, they were really good. He's a good recruiter, a good guy, good coach, good defensive coach.
You would have done it too. All right, let's finish with this. We both have a passion and love for canines, our dogs, and I know you do a lot of charitable things in Kansas City with different dog charities and probably in Colorado. How are your dogs doing, And what is your commitment to dogs everywhere these days? Because I know it's a passion of yours.
Well, I love dogs. I think everyone should adopt dogs from the shelters. And Rainbow is going to be 6 in June. Sunny, the weather dog, just turned 10. And she's doing amazing. She's in great shape. Everything going well with both of their health. I just love dogs. I love my dogs, and I love being involved. And it's amazing. How are your dogs?
My dog's great. He doesn't do quite the trained tricks that you do for treats, but he is absolutely treat motivated. We have this little deal. We don't really have him on the leash all the time now, but we have woods behind the house when there's some coyotes back in there, so we worry. He's a small dog, so we worry. There's really only one way when he's half beagle. When he starts getting on a scent of something, there's turkeys back there and deer. When he starts smelling them, I have one term for him, and it just started at the refrigerator. It's like I keep loose meat, turkey, and roast beef in the fridge, and for him, that is not a treat. That is a special treat. And so when I say special treat, he will leave the woods and come running. That's probably the best thing he does.
Oh, there you go.
So we know he's safe. All I got to do is holler special treat, but I darn sure better have a special treat in the fridge. If I get him in there and it's not there, it could be all over.
Yeah, but I got a strategy.
Okay.
If you say special treat and you got it in his mind, he's coming in, then right when he gets to the door and he's thinking special treat, you change the subject that he'll forget. He'll forget. So you go special treat, and then as soon as he gets inside, you go, oh, look at that, look what's going on over there, and then he completely forgets.
Yeah. Well, we give him the special treat when we go play golf.
You can change their mind real quick.
If we go play golf, sometimes we're gone like 7 hours, and he's not happy when we come home, so he gets a special treat then. But we only use it once a month outside somewhere. He doesn't go off. He's kind of a stoner dog, Gary. He's only 6, but you would think he was just stoned all the time. He just he's very, very calm and mellow. So we've just called him our stoner dog, but we love him.
Your stoner dog loves life, and that's what we can learn from dogs. Unconditional love. They don't mind laying around waiting for that special treat or that special moment, but otherwise all day long they teach us. It's okay. You don't always have to be doing something. Relax on the beach in Bermuda and broadcast live from Kansas City.
I can't believe you didn't make that happen, man. I'm a little bit disappointed you didn't at least try. I mean,
I didn't have that idea. You're the idea guy.
How much could the VRBO cost? You could have paid for it yourself, I guess. Theoretically.
No, I guarantee they could have paid me. They could have paid me a little less, and I could have broadcasted from there and been a little happier.
Well, no, they could have paid you a little more, and you could have paid for the VRBOs. See, you're not good at this, Gary. You got to get me with you. They pay you more to go to Bermuda, so you can pay for the rental house.
That's right. Pay me for living expenses on top of what they're paying me.
You probably could have called, honest to goodness, you probably could have called Travel and Tourism of Bermuda or Dominican Republic or one of the islands that's 2 hours away from here in time change and said, I want to come broadcast there, and once a week we'll have somebody on from the Tourism Bureau and do a bunch of stuff for you. That'd probably put you up for free.
I know exactly. See, that's the Kevin Keatsman mind.
Oh, I'm cheap.
I love that idea.
Yeah. Next time.
Her next baby. About that. I probably could have taken my dogs with me.
Her next baby. Tell her to raise this one a little bit and have another, and then you'll go. It'll be great. Be perfect.
Yeah. Well, let's just these last 12 weeks coming on the air beginning Monday are going to be exciting. I'm sure there's going to be some frustration with the technology, but hopefully that all works. But besides that, I am excited about broadcasting to Kansas City. I want to say hi to everybody, but at 12 weeks, I will be done. We got lots of big things with Weather 2020.
You got it. Weather2020.com. Gary Lezak, we wish you the best. I will be watching on Monday, my good friend.
Sounds good. Last one. I know you're out of time, but the last thing. Who is the number one weather forecaster in the world for hurricanes? Weather 2020, based on Barcelona Supercomputing Center site. Think about that. 3 years in a row. It's like winning the Masters golf tournament.
Wow. That's outstanding. Everybody should go to Weather 2020 and check that out. That's awesome, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Okay. Take care. We'll see you on Monday.
All right. Thanks for having me on. Have a good day, everybody.
That's awesome. He is Gary Lezak, and he is back on Channel 41 for 3 months, beginning on Monday on their morning news. My friend, who I worked with a long, long time ago at Channel 4, long before I was on radio, Gary Lezak, right here on KCMO Talk Radio. A couple of media notes here for you. Coming up at, I guess, like 5 o'clock on Brett Baer's show on Fox. The 4 conference commissioners from the big commissioners in the NCAA are all doing a sit-down with Brett Baer. And some people maybe believe this is going to be the beginning of them announcing a salary cap in college athletics and new rules that may be setting this thing forward. Last night on CNN, I know Pete mentioned this, at a town hall, he referred to a woman in the audience saying she has a question for us, and he was corrected. It's they, them, Anderson. At that moment, he wanted to die. Their rules are so bad they can't follow them themselves. Mark, what do you think happens with these 4 conference commissioners sitting down with Brett Baer? They must have something big to say.
Yeah, if it's not consolidating all their conferences and making one giant conference, the salary cap thing would be nice. Anything to help out this transfer portal madness.
It seems like they're ready to talk. This lawsuit is almost settled from the past, present, and future players. $2.8 billion in a federal court. So maybe that thing gets ironed out. Did you see your guy, Darren Peterson, headed to KU? Did you see the rankings change yesterday?
Did he go to number 1?
He went to number 1 in the country at 247 Sports. He's been number 2, and I said all along, if Bill Self says this is the best player he's ever recruited at Kansas, that's the number 1 player in the country, and now the recruiting services agree. It sounds like all 3 of the top 3 guys, they all have 100 ratings, that it's very close. It's the kid going to BYU, DeBonsa, if I'm saying it right, and then Cameron Boozer is going to Duke. It'll be interesting to see those 3 players next year compete and how they all do.
I know he played against the guy who was number 1 ahead of him earlier in the season and beat him head-to-head and outscored him. So
that probably
that's how
did
I knew
it.
It was switching.
And they'll play against each other in the Big 12 because BYU and KU are both in the Big 12. So we're thinking big things. Did you see that the piano man, Billy Joel, Bill O'Reilly's favorite, made a donation, a political donation?
Really? No.
His charitable trust or foundation trust donated $50,000 to Andrew Cuomo for mayor of New York.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Now, here's the deal. Billy Joel doesn't talk politics. He hasn't given his stance much. His daughter, one of his daughters, Cuomo, is her godfather. They were apparently friends long before politics or something. Billy Joel's been connected, I'm sure, to political people in New York forever. And he's not really taking any stance. This was his private trust that did it, and he hasn't said anything. So we'll see. We're going to give him a break for now. Is that fair enough?
Fair.
Enjoy the Masters. We'll get your picks tomorrow. Let's watch around.